Cool, I'm just gonna test the audio. Cool, I'm just gonna test the audio. Okay, we've got audio. So, good morning everyone, or afternoon, wherever you are. So, today this is just a quick video really. I've received a lot of boxes for the project. For those who are new to the channel, I'm building a small 5-axis machine in my garage, predominantly for the watchmaking industry. So yeah, I've received a lot of boxes and I wanted to do a sort of an unboxing video together with you guys. The structure of the machine is made from granite stone. So the granites have arrived just yesterday. Also a few metal parts. I've received quite a few packages from THK, which are the ball screws and linear guideways. I would also like to show you the stand that I built for the machine. So we're going to have a quick look at that one as well. So let me start with unboxing a few stuff. So I'll just adjust the camera angle so you can see this table. There we go. That should be good. Okay. So this is not a planned video or anything. This is just a live feed basically. So we've played by ear. Apologies in advance for any pickups or mistakes. All right. This package, the first one, is from a company called Drive Lines, and I believe they are the agent for Bimba pneumatics from the States. For the 5-axis table, we need to use a pneumatic cylinder to be able to move a little device, which I can show it to you in another video how it works. So it needs to move a device up and down, and for that purpose I've decided to use a pneumatic cylinder. So just get this box opened up. There we go. Oh no, these are the couplings actually. Oh sorry, the HPS is the, I'm sorry. So these are R+W couplings. So Driveline is actually a company in the UK who are the agent for R+W. So these are 3/2 bellows couplings. As you can see, they are German made by this company, R+W. These bellows type of couplings, they are really accurate compared to any other type of couplings, and they can transmit a lot of torque. So on one end, this is for where basically the servo motor shaft gets connected. This is 14mm, and on the other end it goes into the ball screw, which is, I believe, 8mm. So yeah, these are 3-off couplings for the X, Y and Z axis. Yeah, nice packaging and everything. Something that we're gonna do today is actually compare the packaging that we've got. Let me just put this on the floor. Right. So this is the pneumatic cylinder. So this must be that one. So HPS is the company in the UK that represents Bimba Pneumatics from the States. Nice packaging again. Yeah, good amount of padding and foams and loads of bubble wrap around the product. This is not a usual pneumatic cylinder that you can see every day. It's something a bit special. There we are. So this is a flat pancake type cylinder. I believe it's 2 inches in diameter and about 6mm of stroke. There you go. So that's your logo right there, Bimba. And yeah, it's a very nice compact actuator. So this has a spring return, which is something that I needed. So I only need to feed one line into this, and the return is via a spring movement. So this is quite cool. Nice packaging and all. Let me just pack this up. Yeah, look, there's a lot of shredded cardboard underneath as well. So that's good. Reassuring. You can always judge a good product by its packaging. Right, so next up is the THKs. So I'll just open this up. Right. Again, good packaging. No. Right. What do we have in here? Right, THK. This is, I believe, one of the blocks. Yeah. I will show this to you a bit later. Let's see what else do we have in here. Right. So these must be the FKs. So this is the bearing housing for the ball screws. So this is an FK10. You can see made in Japan and all. So yeah, there we are. It's an FK10. Very nice. I always use these sort of flange type ball screw housings. They're a lot more sturdy and rigid. The other one is, I believe this must be, oh yeah, there we are. That's something cool. So this is a CRB, so a cross roller bearing. And if you look at the part number there, let me just get this into focus. Yeah, there you go. So it's got a UU, which is, I believe, the ceiling, and then you've got CC0. So C0 is the best tolerance that you can get, and the other C is basically when they preload that. So I'm told that this is better than GIS standard for bearings. So the best bearing that is defined on the standard, this is better than that when it comes to run out and the overall dimensional tolerances. So yeah, it must be quite stiff because it's got, oh yeah, let me see if I can do it. Yeah, I'll get my hands dirty. Oh yeah, this is quite stiff. Let's see if I can, oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, it might be the grease, and it's a relatively cold day here in Worcestershire. So there we are, made in Japan. This is your grease inlet. So these are tapped holes, and then these are just like through holes with a countersink for your Allen bolts and all. So yeah, very nice looking bearing. This is quite expensive. I believe this was like, off the top of my head, like 700 something pounds. So this is quite an expensive piece of kit. And yeah, let's look at the, yeah, let's look at the, or maybe I can open that up a bit later. Yeah, let's do that. So these are the blocks for the linear guideways, but I will show you the actual linear guideways. These are just some spares that I bought in case we damage something, because the lead time is quite long for these. So yeah. Right, where's the next one? Ah, cool. Yep, so these are the linear guideways and the blocks. Yeah, so this is for the Z-axis. This is the shortest one, I believe. So nice packaging, very standard packaging for linear guideways, really. Let me just use the, yeah, cool. So yeah, so these linear guideways, they are not your standard off-the-shelf type of thing. I'm not going to open this up now because it's quite oily, and yeah, it can cause a mess, really. So on these two, so this is basically a standard linear guideway split in half, kind of. So yeah, you've got two rows for the bearings to sit on this side, and on the other side of it is just like a, I don't know, a flat face, really. So there's nothing on the other side, and you've got the same thing on this one as well. So basically what these are is basically you can place them with whichever distance you want, and you can create a massive single type linear guideway with this. So on my Z-axis, they're going to sit about some 200 something millimeter apart, and that would create a very wide linear guideway. The good thing about these is that the block or the carriage, whichever you call it, sits on one side and it's not connected to the other side, and so they only work in conjunction together. So they only work together. You can't use them as a single linear system. But the good thing about that is you can adjust the preload. So I believe this is the linear, this is the block. Let's see. Yeah. So these are the blocks. There we are. So we've got a pair of blocks. For the Z-axis, I'm only using one block on each side, but this is a long block, so it's almost 1.5 times or a bit bigger probably than a standard block. So a standard block is like this long, and this is like twice as long almost, or thereabout. So yeah, these are two separate blocks. So you put them on either side of those linear guideways, and from this side you can apply some force, and you can adjust the preload and put it into a preload setup. I paid a bit extra for these to be stainless steel, and these are also stainless steel. I was reassured by THK that the lifetime is pretty much on par with the normal carbon steel type, so lifetime shouldn't be less, but that means that it's not going to rust, so that's pretty good. The other good thing about these is that this is the best accuracy that you can get for these type of linear guideways. The UP means, I believe, ultra precision. So this is like the proper stuff. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but I think the thickness tolerance between a pair, because you buy these as a pair, not as a single, the thickness tolerance is like within 1.5 micron, and the width tolerance less than 2 microns. So this is proper stuff here. But yeah, for the kind of machine I want to make, I believe these are necessary. So yeah, you can't get any type of linear guideways better than these in terms of accuracy. I mean, so yeah, really cool stuff. Right, where was yeah, there we are. I think that's it. So let's now get to something even cooler. Where should I put this? There we are. So this is quite cool. This is the world's most accurate ball screw. Period. Or full stop. There we are. So let's have a look at this. Ooh. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, this is also for the Z-axis. This is the shortest one. Obviously, I've got the same thing for the X and Y. Yeah. This is really cool. So this is a 15 millimeter diameter, 10 millimeter lead, C0. So that's the accuracy, C0 ball screw, with 2 nuts, and the nuts, this is preloaded as well. And this specific model is for high speed and high acceleration and deceleration. Yeah, I looked around a lot. There's I think only THK can produce this type of ball screw at a C0 level. Stenmeyer or Stenmeyer, depends on your pronunciation, from Germany, they can go up to C1. So they couldn't do anything with this level of accuracy. This is C0. This is fully preloaded. Still pretty smooth, I would say. And yeah, so this is the world's most accurate ball screw. Yeah, so yeah, that's the model, the BLW 1510. So the BLW is this type of nut and thread combination. 15 is the diameter, 10 is the lead. And yeah, I don't know, I can't remember the rest of them. But yeah, THK, shout out to THK. They helped me a lot to specify the right type of ball screw for this application. Obviously the ends are machined, and both ends, and yeah, amazing packaging. And let's now have a look at the inspection document. So all of these, they all come with this little inspection report. There we go. So, inspection. Let me just hold, I need to hold it like that so you can see it. Let me just find it first. Accuracy standard, measured value. Oh, right, cool. So, the accuracy standard for this length is plus and minus 5 microns. The measured value for this specific ball screw is 3.5 microns. So, across the length of this ball screw, I've got 3.5 microns of accuracy tolerance. That's really impressive. Imagine, I mean, this is 300 millimeters, more or less. Imagine what sort of accuracy levels we're talking about when it's only playing, like moving by, I don't know, 40 millimeters. That's the maximum distance that you need to move for a... Oh yeah, there's a graph as well. There we are. So that's your zero line right there, and this is the deviation that you would get with this. So this particular ball screw, that's actually pretty harmonious, if that's the right word. So your maximum is 1.6 microns, and then your minimum is minus 1.7 micron. And across these two, it's like 3.5 microns, sorry. So yeah, 3.5 micron C0 ball screw. Fantastic. I mean, this is just amazing. All right, a notey thing. Cool. So, do we have any more packages around here? No. Let me just put this laptop aside. Cool. So I'm gonna bring some metal parts that I received from China. They came yesterday as well. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna put this on the floor and open it there because this is a bit heavy, and the packaging is already getting open. Right, where's the knifey thing? Everything is individually packed, as you can see here. So that's a nice touch. I asked for a CMM report for every single piece, and they provided me with that. And when I said yeah, that's fine, then they shipped the goods. So this is the first time I'm seeing these. I know what these parts are. Ooh, nice. Very nice. You know, when it's in your CAD software, it's a bit different, but looks much bigger. That's what I'm trying to say. So these are a pair of cooling pads for the X-axis linear guideways. So I'm not just going to take it all out because it's the same really all the way through. Maybe a bit further out. There we are. So 600 millimeters in length. Nice smooth finish. Bit of a sharp edge, but that's all right. It's got a little nick on this end. I mean, this is not really important, but yeah. So what these are basically, those linear guideways that you just saw, behind them there is going to be a flat stainless steel surface, and the linear guideway will sit right next to that flat surface. And on the other side of that flat surface, we're going to mount these, or I'm going to mount these. So this is this big channel here. It's just a water channel. So a cooling liquid or a coolant goes through here. There's going to be an O-ring all the way around, and with these sort of holes that you can see, we just bolt it against that flat plate, and so the coolant goes from one end and it comes out of the other end, and that basically keeps the temperature of that plate and the linear guideway regulated. So that's how we cool the linear guideways. That's pretty decent, and yeah, I like the packaging and all, very secure. So there's one part. So these must be, this is another pair. So this could be one of those plates that goes between or behind the linear guides. These are, because it's a bit heavier, I believe these are the stainless steel parts. So again, stainless steel, it's not the best material for your vibration dampening and all, but it doesn't rust. So I opted for stainless steel because it doesn't rust and I don't have to paint it or do anything on it. So yeah, this is stainless steel. So obviously it's ground on both sides. Very nice machining. Even on the edges, as you can see, yeah, no burrs or anything. The holes and everything, they look pretty decent. Yeah. Oh yeah, there we are. There's another nick right there. Ooh, this has created a little dent. Well, it's not an important thing. I can use a file and get rid of it. But yeah, ooh, very nice. Very nice. So these came from a company in China called OI Technology. You can Google them. They seem to have a nice setup of machines, but my experience with them, the overall experience wasn't that great. They were a bit slow to respond, and the most annoying thing that happened to me was I sent them a set of drawings, a lot of parts, and they said, yeah, fine, we can do that. And then I transferred the money. I didn't transfer the whole thing, I transferred some. And then they said, you know what, now that we're looking at it, we can't do half of these parts. I was glad that I only transferred half of the money, really. It would have been a nightmare trying to get it back from them. But yeah, so that was one of the main issues. And so I had to find another company to do the rest of the parts. The other thing was, yeah, overall they were a bit slow to respond. So this is exactly the same part. I'm not going to open this. They've printed out the name of the part that I've got. So this is bed P5. This is how I named it. So they printed it. I think this is a picture of the part. So that's quite cool. You don't have to open the packaging. X-axis P13. I would say this is exactly the same thing, but this is for the sides of the X-axis with a bearing hole. So let's see. Oh yeah, I was right. Oh, nice. So this one, yeah, this doesn't need grinding, which clearly doesn't have a grinding finish. This is a bearing housing, so the little ball bearing sits in here. Yeah, I can show it to you during the assembly part what it's used for. And so So yeah, if I take it apart, oh yeah, there we are. So with these two holes are for that preloading of the block. So the linear guide with block sits here, and with these two holes I'll apply some preload to it. But yeah, nice finishing and all. I mean, they did a little bit of a sandpaper thing on this to remove some burrs, but overall it's fine. And as I said, it's stainless steel. This is a machine that I'm building for myself. It's not going to win any beauty contest or anything, so it's not going to be a beautiful looking machine, but it's going to be a practical machine. So yeah, no paint whatsoever. I can just like bolt it right where it needs to be bolted, and that's it. Yeah, I just hate painting stuff. Right, so this is another part. This is for the y-axis. I can just like tear this. Very similar setup, and yeah, I think this has got a, no, this doesn't need a ground set, or maybe this needs, yeah, this is ground, yeah. It's that shadowy effect there. So yeah, this is another long part. It only got this kind of edge, and then the rest is just a flat bar. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, no, overall nice packaging, nice finishing and all. I'll just put a little bit of some duct tape to this, so alright, cool. Let's see, what else do we have here? Bit part 17. Can't remember what this is. Oh, another flat piece of stainless. Ah, right, I remember. Yeah, this is just a type of box section. Nothing interesting really, just machine parts. There isn't anything particularly interesting in these. Let me open up the second box that he sent me. There might be something cooler in that one. There we are. Now this is something cool. So I think this is the spindle mount or the spindle bracket. Again, very nice packaging. I like the packaging. Padding and everything around it. Ooh, yes. So this is our spindle bracket. I actually got the spindle right here, so I can show it to you. There we are. Oh, it's got a little bit of a dent. I mean, this won't be visible, but yeah, a couple of dents here and there. I mean, they won't do any harm. But yeah, a couple of nicks here and there. As you can see, one nick there, another one there. I mean, they don't do anything. They don't do any damage to the function of the part, but it's not cool when you see that. I mean, they've applied some sort of brushing. I think it's just sandpaper to remove the tool marks, but they've done a good job, I would say. So this is our spindle bracket. So the spindle goes in there. There's one bolt that goes from there, and then there's just a hex nut. This is a bit too big. This is an M12, but you can imagine an M10 will sit in there, and I'll just tighten it from that side, and then Bob's your uncle, really. So yeah, on this side there's a contour. I don't know if you can see, there's a very large radius machined on this side, so this is not flat. And the reason for that is this has a mating part, if I can find it. Bear with me. This can't be there. I'll just move these to the side. There we are. This must be it. Z-axis part 9. Right, so this is the mating part. You can see there is a radius machined in that one as well. So this is a bit of a tricky one. So these two will sit like that together, as you can see there. So if I move the, imagine this flat piece of it sits on the Z-axis itself. I'm probably going to put some sort of a paste type of thing. I mean, this has got a very good finish. I mean, this is just amazing. You can't feel a thing. I mean, this is really, really good surface finish, which I've asked for it. I think it's 0.8 R8. They've milled it, obviously, but they've done a very good job. Maybe actually they've burnished it, maybe. This has got a very good finish. So on this side, which doesn't really have a good finish, so this, imagine this will sit against the Z-axis. Z-axis goes up and down, and this is your spindle, right? So we're looking at it from the top, yeah. So imagine the Z-axis is not fully perpendicular with to the X and Y plane. So this is your X and Y plane, and imagine this is your spindle, but it's not fully perpendicular because you've got stacking of tolerances and everything, even though the machining and everything has been quite good, but you will always have some error. So this is a mechanism that I designed. I'm not sure if it's going to work perfectly or seamlessly, but based on the design it should. So imagine these two have the perfect mating condition. At the moment they wouldn't, because they're just like CNC'd, and then they've applied some sandpaper to remove the tool marks. I will get to that. So imagine this has the perfect mating surface. So if that's the case, I can fix this on one side, and then I can just move this up and down, and this will change the angle. I mean, we're talking about microns, so you don't have to move it by like 5 millimeters or something. We're talking about like 0.1 millimeter would create a 2 micron difference on the tool itself. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to fix this to a table, apply some diamond paste, the stuff that you use for lapping, and I'm just going to lap these two together so they would have the perfect match. I mean, this has got already a little dent on that corner which is sticking up, but yeah, imagine these two have the perfect mating condition. I mean, I'm already feeling some differences, which is obvious. They sent me the CMM report. They're only I mean, you can actually trap the air. Yeah, it's pretty good. The radius that they machine is pretty close to each other. I think it's like, I don't know, 5 seconds or something difference between these two angles. Just a few microns and difference in the radii, but yeah. So we're going to lap these two together so they would have the perfect mating surface, and yeah, then we'll give it a try. So we will have some screws on either side of this so it can move up and down, left and right, so it can rotate pretty much easily. But the good thing about it is that it's always facing that plate, so it's not going to sit on grub screws or anything. It's going to have a very flat, well, flat is not, very matching surface with that one, and that one will sit right against the Z-axis, so it should work pretty well, right? I hope I explained it right. Let me just put this back together where it came from. But yeah, nice packaging and all. I'm happy with that. There's a load of other metal parts in there, but these are just like little bars and little flat pieces, which are not interesting really to see. I mean, this might be something cool to look at, but I'm not going to open everything. You might get bored because there's loads more to show you. The granites have arrived, so I'm interested in that one as well. But yeah, this is like an FF. The other end of the ball screw will sit inside a bearing, and the bearing sits inside this. So this is an FF mount. A really light piece of, I mean, this is only like, what, 50 grams? Just a piece of aluminium machined. But yeah, nice machining and all. Yeah, very happy with this. I'll just put this to the side. Yeah, these are just like metal little pieces, bits and bobs. Now, how did I get this out? Just gonna roll it. There we are. Right. So let me bring some of the granites, right? Cool parts. So this arrived yesterday as well. Let me make this into a wide camera. There we are. Cool. I think this is better. So yeah, when these arrived, the boxes were open, so I assume the customs wanted to have a look inside. I'm afraid they don't have the nicest packaging, and there's only 4 packages. I opened one of them yesterday, and unfortunately one of the grand pieces is broken. So I've been in touch with the manufacturer. I told them that, look, I mean, this is just like terrible packaging. It's just a piece of plywood really around it with like this much bubble wrap, and that's it. So I'm just going to inspect everything. I mean, this is just terrible really. Yeah, I hope the actual product itself is good. I mean, look at this. Wow. So in order to make these a bit stronger when applying some pressure to them, you can see these through holes. Did they do it in one go? No, they've actually machined it from both ends, which doesn't matter really. So I'm going to put a threaded rod right across this and this one, and there's two pieces of stainless steel will sit on this side, and then I'm just going to bolt it together so it will apply some pressure so it won't shatter and hopefully won't damage this piece. But yeah, nice chunky piece. So this is where the Z-axis and the spindle sits. So these mounting holes are for the ball screw. These are for the pins that goes to the ball screws, to the ball screw housing block. Yeah, that plate that I was talking about will sit on this. Let me just bring that plate. Let's see if we can hear any noise, any rattling or anything. Let's see if we can determine if this is flat, because this is pretty flat. Oh yeah, I mean, this is just perfect mating. You can't feel a thing. I mean, obviously I'm going to apply some ink and just move this around this plate to see if it creates any high spots. Maybe I would need to hand scrape this part because the other surface is going to be lapped. I mean, this is going to sit like is it like this? Yeah, like this. So yeah, the holes match. Yay! Yeah, no, this is just absolute rock solid. I mean, this is really good stuff. This is reassuring. Yeah, I'm very happy now. This is rock solid. Nice. Yeah, they've done a very good job on this. All right. Again, terrible packaging. For something that is, it's expensive stuff. I mean, in order to prevent rattling, they've just put some styrofoam on one end, and then the other end is sitting next to the plywood. So this is the X or the Y axis, whichever you want to call it. Let me put this to the side. Look at this machining. I mean, they machine rocks. This is interesting stuff. So this must be really flat, supposedly. So let's compare it to their own part, which is the Z-axis. Let's see if it moves or rattles or anything. Let's see if it's clean. There's no burrs or anything. Yeah, this is rock solid. This is oh, it sticks. There we go. It sticks. That's really good sign. That's a very good sign, that is. Yeah, this side also sticks. Nice. I've got a little precision perpendicular ruler here. Yeah, like a precision square. That's the word I'm looking for. I mean, this is not crazy accurate stuff, but it's good enough. Let me just get this oil. Then I'm just going to check the perpendicularity of these sort of corners, because they are supposed to be 90 degrees to better than 2 microns, I would say. So let's see. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty good. Let me just use my torch here, see if I can see any light coming through. I mean, I could doubt this stuff as well. Let's see. Yeah, this looks pretty good to me. Let's see. And there's absolutely no light coming through there. There's some light coming. No, there's virtually nothing really. Yeah, I think this is pretty perpendicular with these little tools that I've got here. Obviously, they've done all the testing and all, so we should trust them. Yeah, let me just put this to the side. So yeah, this is pretty good stuff. This looks good to me. So this will have through holes as well. So you can see this goes all the way through these two, and there's another two, a pair like there. These go through as well, and they will get connected together with a threaded rod. So that's how it is. Couple of. Oh, is there a question in the chat? Well, that 90 degree stuff, this is just AliExpress cheap stuff. I don't know how accurate this is. This is not lab grade or anything. And to be honest with you, this was the first time I'm opening this. And if you look at this, I can see 3 little dent marks which has created high spots. I mean, probably you can't see it in the camera. But yeah, 3 little dent marks you can see there, and that prevents it from sitting and mating on that surface. These little tiny marks there, I can feel it with my nails. But yeah, I need to probably do some file work on this. So yeah, this is not very accurate really. But there are better tests that we can do for these with a proper set of tools. So yeah, that's very nice. That is. I'm very happy with that. All the machining and everything seems to be pretty good. So yeah, let me just put it back together. As I said, one of these pieces arrived broken, so that needs replacing. I'm going to show it to you now, but yeah. Yeah, if you drop these, then it's bye-bye. Yeah. I mean, look at this, is just pathetic, the way they've done it. So this is the broken piece. So these are a set of, you can call them granite parallels. So this is the broken one. I'm just going to take them out. You can see there's virtually no padding, no protection. It's just a wooden box. I don't know, maybe someone at the customs dropped it, but this is just completely broken into two pieces. There's also some little pieces of granite missing. I mean, yeah, the structure is not super rigid because of these holes that we put through it, but there's a big chunk of granite left, so it shouldn't shatter unless it's something is hitting it really hard from the side. So yeah, this is just a shame, really. This is I mean, it has insurance and everything, but it's just going to cause delays. And I mean, look at this beautiful, magnificent piece, and you have to chuck it away, which is a shame, really. So these two, they've got the same thickness, so they can't replace just the one. They have to build another set because they are lapped together. I mean, this is rock solid. This has got a very good flatness on both sides. Fantastic flatness. Yeah. This is how it should be. But it isn't anymore. So yeah, I really try to be careful when designing this, so I don't create high stress areas. So this is a big chunk of granite there that is shattered. So this is definitely a result of their terrible packaging, really, and nothing more. And it's got room to rattle as well. Yeah, it's just a shame, really. Yeah. So for the other two parts, I can't bring them on the table because they're just like bulky and heavy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the camera to them. So let me just unpack them. Just bear with me 2 minutes and I'll do that. Right, let me just change this camera. There we go. Right, apologies for the shaky camera, but yeah. So this is the Y axis that goes back and forth. So the two Z-axis linear guideways sits there and there with this amount of distance between them. There's the bolt screw rotates in there. There's a plate that's going to sit on top of this, and that's where the Z-axis servo motor will sit. And on the other end, it's the same story for the Y-axis. So it goes through there, the bolt screw, and then yeah. Well, yeah, this looks it is in one piece. I'm gonna do a little bit of a better inspection later on. It's got some threaded inserts into them. This is just like for a piece of plate that I will put there, and this is just a cover, really. Well, yeah, very nice machining, very nice chamfers all around. These blocks, they are very good and secure, and they've got good machining. So yeah, this is proper stuff. Yeah, I'm happy with this. Yeah, these little channels are basically, so there's like a bolt that goes through there, and there's a little there's a nut that sits in there, and then there's a plate that covers this. So when you're tightening the bolt, the nut will get will face or will get stuck, and that plate will prevent the nut from rotating, so you can just like tighten it up. So yeah, very nice. Everything. I wanted to sort of assemble this here, but then I thought that this is better to be assembled at the factory, so they can do a final lapping of that face and the face underneath where the linear guideways sit. And this is the bed. This is the big boy. Again, terrible packaging. I mean, they all came from the same factory, so you Don't expect more. Nice big flat surface. Is this the underneath? Yeah, this is the underneath. I don't think that this face is lapped. It's got a very nice finish though. I mean, maybe they just ground it or something. Oh yeah, this doesn't really need to be lapped. It's only the other side that needs to be lapped. So I'm going to rotate this later to inspect the other side of it, but yeah, so far it looks pretty good. Right, and as a final thing, I'm just going to show this to you. So this is the structure that I built. So these are 80 by 80 millimeter box sections with 5mm thickness, and so I cut them manually with the help of a friend. We welded it together, and then 3-4 coatings, and put some sort of fillers, putties, to sort of try and hide my terrible welding, and and then a few layers of primers and 3 or 4 coats of paint, and it sits on these little foot and wheel combination thingies. So they have a bearing there, like a thrust bearing there. Maybe you can see it. And there's a wheel there, so it can freely rotate. But if you rotate this part, a machine foot will protrude and comes down, and you can actually level the whole thing with these 4 little feet. One of these. So if you rotate there, so now it's lifting up the machine, so it won't move now. As you can see, obviously you have to do it on the 4 of them, but yeah, these are pretty good. So I can move the machine very easily, and then I can just level it with these little wheels. So this is where that big piece will sit here. This is where the tank for the coolant and everything will go in there. There's going to be a big drawer underneath for the collecting of the coolant. The 4th and 5th axis will rotate here, so it's going to be like that, and then there's going to be the fixed table right there. Those parts are being manufactured as we speak, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So let me just put you back up there. So yeah, thank you for joining in today. As soon as the other parts arrive, I'm going to do another update, and yeah, that's about it really. So the next step would be, I've got a little piece of rubber, thick, like 8mm or something, that will sit between the granite and that stand. So the machine itself, it's going to be fully isolated from the stand that you saw, because the stand is not machined or anything. So the machine itself is going to be fully isolated from the stand. So there's going to be a thick piece of rubber between the thick piece of granite and the stand. So I'm going to put that on top, and then I'm going to put the granite on top of the stand. So that's probably what I'm going to do today. and then as soon as the other parts arrive, I'm just going to start the assembly process, really. I'm still waiting for Beckhoff to send me all the electronics parts. So that's the servo drives, servo motors, and the computer, and a few other cards, EtherCAT cards that I've ordered. So they are still due to arrive. I've got all the CPC stuff here, but that's going to take a long time to unpack and show them to you. Maybe in the next video I'll do that. So the CPC stuff is, CPC is a company based in Taiwan. They are predominantly manufacturers of linear guideways. We actually used their products for a very long time, very good quality and all. We were very happy with them. And we were a long-term customer of theirs. But they also have a sort of an electronics division, and within that division they produce linear motors and torque motors. So I got in touch with them a while back, about 6-8 months ago, and when I was doing the sort of the research for which brands and which manufacturers I should go and get their products from, I got in touch with them, and they said, yeah, we can do that for you, no problem at all. So they custom built the two A and C axis motors for me, and they arrived about 2-3 months ago. So I've already got them, as well as the spindle. So the spindle, I've got the spindle as well, which is pretty cool. Next time I'm gonna do another video, maybe next week or sometime soon. I'm just going to do another short live video, maybe next Saturday if I can get the time. I will do the unboxing of the CPC stuff as well as the spindle. The spindle, it's quite interesting actually, because it's a tiny little spindle, but it's quite capable. It's fully closed loop, and the tool holders are just so cute. I'm just going to do another video probably next week to unbox those stuff and show it to you. Obviously I've already seen them, so it won't be like this one, the first hand sort of experience. So thanks for joining in, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you.